And what I found at the end of it all was pretty shocking. How did I go from like anxious as fuck speaking on 10,000 person stages to finally cracking the code on healing anxiety? It's definitely not what we've been told. Hey, what's up? My name is Yeski. And listen, if you are a high-performing human who is sick of anxiety or the pain of your past that's secretly kicking your ass, and you want to learn a proven 3-step process to stop it for good, this video is for you, all right? So basically in this video, I'm going to break down 3 things. Number 1, why anxiety isn't going away. Number 2, what's really causing it at the root. And 3, why traditional talk therapy isn't working like we had hoped, all right? And ultimately, by the end of this video, this is all about teaching you how to heal anxiety with a simple 3-step process without ever having to go back to therapy again, all right? Plus, if you stick around until the end, I'm going to show you how to download a free anxiety toolkit that I created so you can start healing from home. Cool? So if that sounds good to you, let's dive in. Over the last 10 years, I tried everything under the sun. I mean, I worked with Brene Brown certified therapist for 2 years straight. I attended the top closed-door celebrity mental health retreat in the game. I learned NLP, peak performance stuff, biohacking, energy work, Kundalini yoga. I sat with shamans drinking ayahuasca probably more times than you think was sane. And I even walked on 12 feet of flaming hot coals at a Tony Robbins conference to unleash my power. Dude, you name it, I probably fucking tried it. But sadly, what I found at the end of it all was a hard pill to swallow. I started noticing that most modern healing methods were merely picking the fruit, but never actually healing the root. So I'm just gonna shoot you straight. If you're really serious about beating this thing, sooner or later, you gotta address the elephant that's in the room. And so I'm just gonna come out and say it. Traditional talk therapy and overly sensational self-development is not working anymore. The mental health game is completely changed. I mean, how many people do you know right now who've gone to therapy for years and are still stuck talking about the same shit years later? And don't get me wrong, it's not that it's not helpful, it's just that it's not healing the actual root. It's literally like putting a band-aid on a bullet wound. I mean, sure, it stops the bleeding for a bit and you feel better for a few weeks, but until you get that bullet out, you will be stuck on a hamster wheel for the rest of your life. So what did I do? I got desperate. Like a mad scientist, I started breaking all the rules. I started combining everything that worked for me and I threw out all the fluffy shit that didn't and I put it into one simple system that actually got me results. And what happened next, seriously, it blew my fucking mind, man. I didn't believe it at first. I started experiencing extreme breakthroughs. I'm talking like years of results in a matter of months. And in fact, I remember looking out the window one day after this process and realizing like, oh my God, I hadn't had a panic attack in 18 months. And not only was I getting shit done and getting out of my own head, but I was present for what mattered most. And I was fucking happy, man. And I got my family back. I restored my marriage and nothing could hold me back anymore. And after that, what felt like an eternity, I had finally cracked the code and found the cure for anxiety, which was just fucking incredible. But to make sure it wasn't a fluke, I started sharing this process with other people and person after person started experiencing the same mind-blowing results, man. I'm sure you're a busy person like me, so I'm just gonna spare you the sensational pitch. In short, the remembrance process is the self-healing system people come to when traditional therapy and the overly hyped self-help stuff stops working. In 48 hours at a live retreat, I teach people a proven 3-step process, and it combines the world's most ancient spiritual practices with modern results-based coaching, and it's backed by neuroscience, 10 years of trial and error, and 100+ testimonials from people all over the world to prove it's legit. And the cool thing is, you can literally learn the entire process in one weekend and be back for work on Monday. It sounds legit, but how exactly does this thing work? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me take the last few minutes to share my screen and I'm going to show you exactly how this 3-step process works. So take a look. If you ask any person in the world right now, what do you want for yourself or the people you love? What are they going to tell you? They just want to be happy. We want to feel good. We want to find ourselves. We want to fulfill our purpose in life, right? But why is it feel like no matter how hard you try or how many positive thoughts, something inside of you keeps taking you back and making you feel like you're being held hostage? It's literally like this glass ceiling that you just can't seem to break. Here's what I found over the last 10 years of research. Every single thought we think holds an intense energetic charge or a vibration. Nikola Tesla and Einstein, they proved all this. Basically, it goes like this. On the vibrational scale, vibrations like love and peace and abundance are literally faster or higher vibrations. But the opposite is true. The feelings of anxiety, the fear, the depression, shame are all low, slow vibrational waves that literally make us feel heavy and hold us hostage. here's kind of how this works. The thoughts that we think send an electrical magnetic signal into the world around us. And this is basically doing two things. It's either looping in your mind, attracting the shit that you want, or attracting the shit that you don't want. But here's the kicker. It's not just your thoughts. It's actually the feelings in your body that are being broadcasted into the field. But how? How does that even work, Yeski? Well, there's a book called The Body Keeps Score. This breaks down literally the science, and it proves that unprocessed emotions are literally getting stuck in the fascia of our body. And if you don't believe me, and it sounds too woo-woo, ask any massage therapist if they've ever hit a spot on someone that triggered an emotional outburst. Somebody started crying, somebody got fucking angry. The answer is yes. Thousands of people speak about this phenomena. And why? Well, it's because the body actually keeps score. And I call this concept the anatomy of trapped trauma. Trauma does not mean just abuse or something horrible that happened to you as a kid. In fact, a lot of us had great childhoods. So initially we think we don't have any trapped traumas affecting us, right? We just think, oh, it's just in our mind. We need to take control of our thoughts. But that's not what the research actually proves. A trapped trauma is literally any type of experience that was emotionally or intense or shocking to you in your past that didn't get processed fully. This could be anything from intense pressure at work. It could be a time where you were broke and you were stressing the fuck out. It could be something someone said that kind of cut you like a knife. It could also be the actual silence of a parent at a time you needed support most. Or for me, it was the death of a loved one. It was my dad. And the problem is, it's that whole stop crying, rub some dirt on it shit that fucked us up as kids. And here's the sad truth. Because we didn't fully process the trapped traumas, that energy got trapped in our body, and it's the actual root of what's causing the low vibrational frequency and the fruit of anxiety in our minds. Listen, if there's one thing I want you to get, it's this. If you don't heal the root, the shit will never go away. So how do we get them out? Well, basically what I found is there's 3 simple phases that a trapped trauma must go through in order to be fully released. So write these down. First, we need to make sense in the mind. Talk therapy does an incredible job at identifying where our problems come from. But if you talk about it and you never actually go to step number 2, which is to sensate in the body, that trapped trauma that's pulling you down in the hostage state, you guessed it, it gets relieved, but it never gets fully released. Does that make sense? In step number 2, you gotta feel it fully, and this is called sensate in the body. Things like somatic breath work is one of the top processes on the planet that can help us fully feel this shit and release it. But if you don't actually get to the 3rd level, the trapped traumas, some of them will go away, but the deeper ones will never actually fully release. And that's why we gotta get to the last and final step, which is to satiate the soul. In other words, this means you need to learn how to rewrite the codes in the mind by giving your younger version of yourself what it never got. Psychedelic therapy like ayahuasca, ketamine, mushrooms have proven to be one of the most effective ways to do this according to Johns Hopkins University and personal experience over here, all right? But if you blast out of your body and you never fully actually integrate the teachings, you're gonna feel better for a few weeks, even months, and then guess what's gonna happen? All those trapped traumas that never fully released are gonna slowly pull you back down to what? That hostage state, right back to where you started. I can hear some of you probably thinking, Yeski, I've done all that. Why am I still stuck? Well, here's the biggest secret. It's a lot like whack-a-mole at Chuck E. Cheese. It basically goes like this. This is everything I learned in 10 years right here. You ready? Whack the mind. You do this with talk therapy, but you don't actually feel it fully in your body or satiate your soul, and trapped trauma doesn't fully release. Thus, you go back on that cycle over and over and over, pulling you back to the hostage state. Let's go to the second one. Whack the mole with somatic breath work for the body to feel it. But if you don't actually integrate this shit in your mind, or if you don't have a practitioner who really knows what the fuck's going on to get you to that full soul and satiation release, and that trapped trauma is going to stay stuck again. Listen, you can go to all of the plant medicine ceremonies you want. You can do bufo, you can do ketamine, you can do ayahuasca, mushrooms, all of it. Truth be told, if you don't integrate that shit, you're just spiritually bypassing your pain and you're never going to be fully free. So how do we fix this? Well, I thought you'd never ask. Basically, the secret in 10 years of research is this. You've got to hit all 3 phases simultaneously in a session to fully release the trapped trauma and rewire the brain for good. Put this 3-step process together, you can see why the other stuff probably hasn't been sticking for you. Now that you got a glimpse of what our anatomy of trapped trauma, you're probably wanting to know 2 things about our retreat. Number 1, what exactly will we be doing at this retreat? And number 2, how much does it cost? Well, basically on Friday at 3 p.m., you're gonna fly out to Austin, Texas to our private retreat location with 33 other brave souls. On night 1, we're gonna kick things off with a 90 90-minute shamanic breathwork experience. It's called the Happiness Heist. Now, some people have said my breathwork experiences feel like literally doing a full psychedelic journey like ayahuasca without drinking a drop. Don't worry, if you're new to breathwork, I got you covered. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know so you can have a safe and successful journey. On day 2, we do 3 simple things. First, in the morning, I'm going to teach you the prime process. And this is literally a 9-minute non-traditional meditation practice for busy people that combines 9 different ancient spiritual practices into one. It's literally going to teach you how to stop anxiety, quiet the mind, find your center, and do it on command. After that, we're going to take it to the cold plunge. This isn't another like throw people in some ice and watch them freak out. At TRP, the cold is sacred. We believe that it is the most effective way to fight depression and increase dopamine levels by 300%. But we really believe that's the most effective way to train your ego mind and take back control. After this is done, we're going to walk you through a guided visualization process called the interviewing emotion method. Basically, in 90 minutes, you're going to learn how to release any trapped trauma from your past without being strapped to a therapy chair for the next few years. And this process combines everything I learned in over 40 plus sits, but with a plant medicine called ayahuasca. After that, we're going to close out the Saturday night with our second breathwork experience to finish the work you've started, and you're going to go to bed sleeping like a baby, feeling the big work that you just did. On Sunday morning, we're going to wake up, prime and plunge one last time, and then you're going to experience a sacred hape ceremony. If you've never done hape is an ancient spiritual shamanic plant medicine, an indigenous technology made from tobacco. If you have any energy still stuck in your system or something to clear from your brain or body, this non-psychedelic plant medicine is going to help you do it. Closing things out, we're going to wrap things up with a simple 90-day at-home integration plan to help you make these results last. And don't worry, we even have an app that has everything you learned from the weekend, so it's super easy to do and you can do it in a few minutes a day. In 48 hours, you will have learned a straightforward process to finally heal yourself and probably make some incredible friends along the way. Plus, not only that, we're going to get you home after Sunday at 3 p.m. and back for work on Monday, which is pretty cool. So what actually makes us different? First, we're practical. We don't just sit around talking about your problems for the next 5 years, all right? We teach you actionable tools to heal the root of what's been causing you pain. Second, it's a system. You don't need another fireworks session that feels good for a moment, then leaves you in the dark a week later. This is a proven step-by-step process training you to heal yourself and keep your results when you go home. And again, this isn't about just going to somebody, letting them cut you open, and all of a sudden you hear the ding of the bell and say, oh, sorry, you gotta come back next week, and you go home with your guts everywhere. This is giving you the actual system to do the work yourself and cut out the middleman. Third, it's fast and it fucking lasts. In 48 hours, we teach you the entire system that can potentially save you years of guesswork and tens of thousands of dollars hopping from event to event. You might be thinking, can you guarantee me this thing will work? And the short answer is no. If you're looking for some sort of like crazy, unrealistic guarantee and you're not really willing to put the work it takes in to heal, TRP won't work for you. In fact, to be honest, nothing will. But know this, once you learn this system, you will have every tool you need to not only get immediate results at the retreat, but to take this home with you to create lasting change. So what does it cost? And the truth is, most people say, we're not going to tell you that. We'll wait to get on the call. I'm just going to be upfront. I'm going to share it with you right now. Now, the cool thing is, instead of you spending tens of thousands of dollars and staying stuck years later, our system puts everything you need into one process, one event at one price. And it's a fraction of what you'll be spending at all the others. Let me ask you this. What would it be worth to you if you could learn how to finally stop anxiety and heal the root holding you back? And what would it be worth to you to finally fully be present for the people that you love most and to take back control of your mind and your emotions instead of letting them control you? And that's why I've made the decision to make this retreat as accessible financially as possible to as many people as I can, while still providing a premium in-person experience that gets results in 48 hours. So, are you ready? Here it is. Drum roll, please. You're not going to spend $10,000. No, I'm just kidding. Look, if investing around $3,000 to learn this entire system is within the realm of possibility for you, you're definitely going to be able to afford this, all right? And not to mention, we've got a monthly payment option and funding if you need it. To close this out, now that you know healing's possible, it's literally only one retreat away. I got to close out in the words of the immortal Morpheus from The Matrix. All right, let me see if I can do his voice. You have two choices, my friend. You take the blue pill. Oh, fuck that. Here's the truth, man. You take the blue pill, this story ends, you go back to your life letting this shit hold you back. Or you take the red pill, and I show you exactly how deep this rabbit hole goes and how to finally heal yourself for good. My friend, the choice is up to you. If you're ready, we've got a simple system that actually works. And if you really want to try this thing out, I want you to book a call to get all the details for our next retreat. And by the way, we only do 3 of these retreats a year, so spots fill up super fast. So if you're thinking about coming, consider booking a call before we sell out. If that sounds good to you and you're up for it, all you gotta do is click the link, fill out the form, find a time on my calendar for us to chat, and you'll be speaking to me directly. I'll share all the details, dates, and investment for you to see if it's a right fit. And also, anybody who signs up for this call actually gets access to my free Anatomy of Anxiety toolkit on School. So you can actually start healing at home before the retreat, which is pretty cool. So really, what do you have to lose? Absolute worst case scenario, you show up, it's not a fit, and you get to keep all my free stuff. Or best case scenario, this ends up being exactly what you were looking for and you heal your shit for good, which is pretty cool. Let me close out with this. Remember, suffering is optional. Now that you know that healing yourself is literally just one step away, the ball's in your court. Book a call and I promise you will not regret it. And if you're still not convinced, watch the testimonials and I'll see you in the call, all right? We'll talk soon.
I want to give a shout out to Yeski.
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 Like, this shit fucking works, guys.
I have never felt a happiness like I felt during and after the retreat.
I awakened to the truth.
I was able to find freedom and peace.
I feel my heartbeat. I feel the breeze and the beautiful sun. Like, I really feel it.
Hi, my name is D Smoke.
Am I wrong for putting this on? You would if you could.
And I just finished the remembrance process with Yeski.
All I can say is Yeski's freaking awesome.
Give yourself this treat, give yourself this gift, you will not regret it.
Your life will be changed.
Go. You will get a phenomenal experience, a phenomenal value from it.
You're watching this video, trust your intuition, go for it.
Just say yes and do it.
Do it. Just do it.
Do the remembrance process. Allow your heart to lead you.
Like I said, have zero regrets. Highly recommend. It will change your life.
Do it. No questions asked. Say yes now.